If we look at some of the mechanics that Carlin Pickens uses, we can see the hip hinge. This is where all this is to push into the ground, getting ready, okay? So this is some momentum mixed with load, and right here is her combination of hip hinge and load, and this is what we all could do better at. And then she goes right into what we call down the slide, or that little scoop down. It's right there. So she's getting that sprinter's posture. Look at her right leg, how deep that right leg shin angle is. So that's really key right there, because what you're doing from that point forward is you're driving your hips forward. Look how low she goes. This is where a lot of her energy is created and where we could gain from. So right there, look at the shin angle. It's almost horizontal to the ground. That is really low shin angle. At the same time, her torso, her hips are going forward. So as you can see, the hips are back, the shin angle, and then the hips are driving forward. Okay? At the same time, now her knee is up. So now we got flexion, full flexed glutes and hip right there, straight though. And then now the left leg is starting to go extend. You can see the foot extend. Now she's sideways, and now she's reaching over. So right there, but if you can look at that, it's not an arm circle as much as it's elbows up and elbows separating right there. You're using her shoulder to, like a bow almost, where the left arm goes forward and the right arm goes back. She's pulling apart her shoulders right there, basically, and then landing. And now at this landing point, you need to have that front foot down, and you'll see right there, now she's ready to pull down the backside. Front foot lands, weighted. As the hip is coiling back around, see right there, the hip turns in her waist, and then she's getting the leverage there to push and whip against. So you got to have the front foot down, the shoulders back, and the weight in the hips. Hips are pulling around right there to leverage against the shoulder, the arm coming down. And then there's her whip. Her whip is right there. Shoulders are frozen right there, down, and then whipped against, and then follow through, whipped against. So the leverage points are, we got to get to this posture right here to pull down, straight down the backside. If you look at her pull, it's basically straight down and through. Elbow pull straight down to her side, and then the whip from the elbow forward or below. So taking that, you can see the difference. We're not loading, we're not hip hinging, and we're not loading in the back. We got the lower half working. The legs are doing something similar, but the level of load isn't there, okay? And we're straight out. And then as we land, this is all momentum. You got the front leg there, and we got it loaded, which is there, but we're more of a big circle. If you look at the whole thing, it's a big circle. And then the hips are not contributing as much. They're coming around, but there's room to grow. And that's all I wanted to show. So we got the same thing. Here on this one, we're so much back to front. We got back leg is in the air, so it's not really giving any power back through. And her speed was up.